Welcome to Bearish. We're not financial professionals, and this is not financial investment advice. Enjoy the episode.
What's today's topico?
Fuck Robinhood.
Are we switching brokerages?
Yes.
That is the question of the day.
Robinhood.
Do I want to? No.
Yeah.
Right.
But they did us
Am I?
dirty.
Yes.
They just did us
They did
dirty.
us so dirty. Okay, yeah, let me rephrase that. I want to, yes, but Robinhood's interface, amazing.
Too damn
I
Amazing.
wish Robinhood would go bankrupt and then
Someone
TD
would buy
Ameritrade
them
can
out.
just buy their interface and
Yes.
just put it on theirs. It'd be perfect.
There's
It makes it
nothing
so
wrong
fun.
with them copying it. Like, there's
what?
nothing stopping. There's nothing stopping TD Ameritrade from making. I mean, they have their own app, right, on the phone.
Yeah, but you don't think there's a... Well, I mean, I guess.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just
Nothing's
fucking
stopping
graphs,
them.
dude. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can really
Alright,
only
well,
get so
with that being
special with
said-
graph.
Robinhood, see you later. Deuces, peace. What are you guys moving
Not for
into?
Not for a while for me, though, because I'm in a call option for a month. So I'm going to stick with them for a while.
Mr. Short Term himself.
No, I was talking to Mike about this. It's such a long-term approach to it. Like,
Oh,
it's not really
yeah,
short-term
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Totally,
We're not
dude.
gonna give both you, fuck options. You're too risky. They have shit that's like way too complicated. I'd rather just invest in the company.
Mike, do you remember what I said?
Here we go.
They're doing a share buyback plan.
Yeah.
They're doing a dividend. Their PE ratio is one of the lowest there is.
PE
It just
ratio.
makes sense.
It's not
Alright,
just based
so-
off of emotion. You actually looked at their numbers before you
the
did
brokerage.
emotion.
I looked at the
brokerage
numbers.
we're gonna switch to.
The fucking money.
Brokerage
Going
we're gonna switch to.
up. Oh,
I
are you
don't
asking?
know, you know? I don't know.
Oh, I'm going
You're not
Thinkorswim.
completely
I'm going
honest.
TD Ameritrade for sure.
I think I'm doing TD Ameritrade
Yeah.
too.
I already have an account. It's just I got to learn. Robinhood makes it simple for like a newborn baby to come out and throw their money into it, and TD Ameritrade just doesn't because it's for
I
like
think
adults.
that might be good, though.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have said that TD Ameritrade has that really helpful system, so it may be harder to get used to. But once you get used to it, I imagine it helps you a lot more.
No, you're right because they have like when you do options and you do strategies and stuff, you can type in the exact strike and whatever stock it is, like the underlying, and it maps out an exact profit loss, where it has to go, where break even is, max loss, max gain,
Yeah.
like everything like that. Like it just shows it there for you on a graph. So once you're able to actually use it, it's easy.
What'd you say, Mike?
Robinhood does it all on. Robinhood.
did he go?
Did I disappear?
Dude, you just went,
Blank.
but you're back now.
Like, okay, well, I was gonna say Robinhood doesn't have those projections, those nice projections. You have to do everything in your head, I think. So that's a pretty good reason to use that system.
You know?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do TD Ameritrade. I already have an account with it, and like Max said, the Thinkorswim platform, like you can just do all of these graphs and all of these indicators and everything, just help you out.
Yeah.
That's really for like trading though. So, I mean,
You can do
for
it long
trading,
term,
TD
though.
Ameritrade for sure. Yeah, you could do long term. You don't need the graphs for long term, really.
Well, when you
Really,
change
I
it to like a year or like a couple years, it changes the indicators and RSI and everything like
Yeah,
change for the year date. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know exactly
it's just
how to explain it, but yeah, they changed
Totally
just
adjusted.
really-
for that. Yeah, adjusted.
it's really convenient because it's all on that platform.
Right, it's all in one place.
So you can buy as you're looking at the graph and everything. I mean, with Robinhood, it's not complicated like that, but that's why we love Robinhood because it's so simple. I mean, it's just so nice to look at that graph and see it
So-
green and it's just going up.
I don't know how much experience you guys have had with other apps, but in terms of viewers or listeners, what app would you recommend if you have any experience with others that is as simple as Robinhood, or at least the next best thing for people that want to invest but maybe want to say fuck Robinhood at the same time?
Yeah. Drop a comment.
well, to be honest,
We did a story on it.
I've heard a lot of
We
Webull.
did a
I've never
a lot of Webull.
I've never used it, but I've heard a
Yeah.
lot of it's like kids our age, like and young adults using Webull. I feel like I've heard the interface is pretty seamless, and somebody on our Instagram said,
That's a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie.
"Oh, really?"
Yeah. I've looked at it. It is kind of confusing.
Somebody said Cash App was pretty straightforward, which
It's
Okay.
I didn't even know
That was
Cash App
the
had a
first-
brokerage.
that was the first app I actually bought a stock on was Cash App.
I didn't even.
Swear.
What does it look like? Is it like Robinhood?
It's super.
I imagine it
super
like
simple.
Robinhood.
It's more. No, it's more simple than Robinhood.
Oh, I mean, I guess if you're looking for a simple one, then
It's crazy.
head over to
but,
Cash
like,
App.
I don't know how. I don't know if their reputation is good.
Yeah.
Cash App. Like I don't know if I'd want to put $10,000 into Cash App. You know.
Yeah,
Right.
and how they make money through doing that, it might be a little different.
Actually, it's amazing you just brought that up, Max,
Amazing.
because I just found out today how Robinhood makes money, and I saw it on a very it was a very good video, very informative. It was a TikTok, so
Nice one.
Oh,
so this is what the guy said. So say Apple is at $200, and Robinhood has the bid ask at 200 and 205 cents. When you put your order in to buy Apple, you swipe up, you do one, swipe up. Robinhood takes that information and immediately sells it to a hedge fund, and the fund immediately buys Apple at 200 and then sells it back to you at 205 cents. And they pocket
Wow.
the difference. So
and they're just doing
you're
that with millions of transactions.
millions and millions.
Then that's what. Because earlier we were talking about this saying like, because the brokerage is free, the product is free, the user is the product. So they're literally selling us our information, our trades to somebody else, so they
And
can
that's
basically
not
make a quick
some
buck.
form of market manipulation.
No, man.
Well, that's like what
I
cookies
don't
are in
think
your
so.
computer. They track all your shit
Yeah.
and they send it off to somebody. It's like,
Yeah, but for it to do it that fast, as soon as you have it, like as soon as you say you want to buy it, the people on the other end have to have it set up to where there's not even people. It has to be like a system.
well,
Where
there's
as
already
soon as
things.
you buy, they buy
well, there-
automatically.
There's already things like that. Like
AI, yeah.
yeah, AI already buys up stocks or sells stocks based on what is posted on the internet. They'll read for keywords, and if there's enough of their keywords in like some kind of post about whatever certain stock, it'll trigger the AI to buy it or to sell it. And so I'm sure it's something
Wow.
along the lines of that. They know there's so much volume in something like Apple, and so the bid ask is a little spread out, and so they just it's instantaneous. Somebody buys it up and sells it to you for a quick couple cents, but multiply that times a million, or like AMC or GameStop or whatever, they had a volume of one day of 1 billion. So multiply a couple cents by 1 billion, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, what sucks is that means your entry points and your exit points on Robinhood are like worse than, I don't know how any other brokerage does it, but Robinhood, you're not going to get the best entry point and the exit point when you're getting into or out of a trade. If you're getting the ask, but you want the bid,
Right.
but you're getting the ask, like you just, and imagine doing that with thousands
Yeah,
of, or
exactly.
even hundreds of shares. That adds
Yeah.
up.
To be honest, when
Yeah.
you're just buying a few shares here and there, you may not notice it really at all. But when you're buying hundreds of thousands of shares, when you have big time money, that hundreds of thousands of shares, you're going to take a little bit of a hit in the bid ask spread, which
Yeah.
is not ideal.
So
How does
My
it work
thing-
when
I
you
think I'm
sell?
doing-
Do they like double dip? Do they get it on the buy and the sell, or just the buy?
I don't know. I don't know about the sell. I mean, it's probably the same thing, just reverse. When you go to
Yeah.
sell it at 205, the broker will buy it at 205, and they'll give it to you for 200. I don't know. I really don't.
It probably is just a reverse action of what it is.
Right.
Because they have to make money on it somehow, and
Exactly,
they will
yeah.
find a way to make money on it somehow.
Whether these other brokerages do it, not really sure, but I
don't
know that Robinhood is kind of like known for that because they are what introduced free trades. And it seemed like everyone else followed after them, just competition wise. So that leads me to believe that other brokerages may not be doing it to that extent because they already had a form of income in a different way, maybe set up. So they stuck with that. Whether that's right or not, I'm not really sure. But have you guys ever used like Fidelity or anything, or like anything else?
I've used
No.
Merrill Lynch, and I still use that, and I love it. But it's not like Robinhood where it's got this green or red graph and it's super laid out for you. But it is like it's up there. It's super simple.
Yeah.
And the research they give you is ridiculous.
TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim is pretty cool too, because you can have a bunch of windows open at once on the same screen, so you can be watching a couple different stocks and have all the analytics on it. And then on the side, you can also have you can customize it where there's like a drop down menu of like 20 different options, and those include like live stream of CNBC or whatever financial show is on at the moment, or like they'll give you top news stories and updates every second, and they'll just pump them in so you can kind of see what's being talked about, which is actually pretty cool. It's completely customizable for whatever. Like mine would look completely different than one of your guys', just because it's based on preference, which I think is what attracts me to it. It's kind of unique, and it's for
so
what
it's
you
more
want.
like a laptop interface kind of.
Yeah, it's a whole entire. It's like a browser that comes up and like a whole
It's like
window.
its own application.
Yeah, it's like its own window, and it pops up and you log in, and then you can just change all this stuff, and it's unique to you.
Gotcha.
What's annoying about all of this is with Robinhood, you can, like, and you got used to how simple it is. So when you go to these other brokerages, you see how complicated it is, and it's annoying because they can simplify it, but they just don't.
Yeah.
Like they can dumb some stuff down, but they really don't.
That's what the theme of like the past 2 weeks have been, is like these big time hedge funds and stuff have been like, oh, we're too technical, we're too smart for the average person to be even involved in what we're doing. And so Robinhood kind of came in and made it really simplified for the average investor to come in and be like, you know what, we can make some noise because it's not as technical and whatever as you may like make it out to seem. Whereas that's why like a lot of like Fidelity and TD Ameritrade and Merrill Lynch and all that kind of stuff, like it's made for like the older kind of investor, like more
experience.
Yeah,
what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you pick
Classic.
What's annoying about all of this? Yeah, there you go. What's annoying about all of this though is everyone wants to leave Robinhood because of what happened the past week with GameStop and them, limiting and even stopping buying of shares. The problem is other brokerages did that too. Like TD Ameritrade did it. Interactive Brokers did it.
Webull
did it. Yeah, so I don't really know. That's why I don't know. I will end up switching. I'm going to go to TD Ameritrade, like I said. It's just super convenient that you can have the Thinkorswim platform and you can see all the graphs and everything. But what's the difference if they all did the same thing?
You're right on that. It's interesting, but the fact that another thing that kind of strays me away from Robinhood that these other guys aren't really having a problem with is it sounds like Robinhood is having a lot of liquidity issues. They weren't able to go. They have to put up a certain amount of money to even make these trades possible through a clearinghouse and yada yada yada. There's a whole lot of behind the scenes shit that goes on, and it sounds like they really didn't have enough funds for the trade volume that they were having, which kind of raises an issue of like, well, if you don't have enough funds and more people are getting into investing, how are you going to be able to handle it in the future, which could lead to a kind of like, we can't even pay you guys out type thing. So like, and then accounts freeze, there's holds, and then you can't even take out your money. And it's like, how long will it take before I can actually withdraw my money and put it into my bank account? Like, it's a lot of sketchy things going on that kind of stray you away from it.
Yeah.
Did you see that they raised $1 billion?
They had to.
Yeah.
They didn't have a choice because they couldn't really fund the amount of volume that was going on in those couple of days.
I wish I knew more about this, and because we're talking about it, but like you said, Max, the whole clearinghouse thing, and they have to put up a certain amount of money. I think in total, Vlad, the CEO, went on Clubhouse with Elon Musk and had a talk with him, and he said like, for that one day where everything was going crazy, they were hit with a bill of like $3 billion.
Yeah, it was insane.
And up until then, like from Robinhood's their first day or whatever, up until then, they were only asked to put up a total of 2-point-something billion. So in that one day, they were asked to put up more than all time. Mm-hmm. They were like their whole entire existence, which is crazy.
It's honestly somewhat understandable. They had to do what they had to do, but it's like you don't want to trust your money in somewhere that is having issues with funding. It's like,
but then why did the other brokerages do it? Did they do it just to follow suit, or did they do it because they had to? That's what I'm
that's
getting
a whole
at.
other
Like,
story, man.
Yeah, what's the difference if they all did the same thing?
No,
Robinhood is sort of like a startup, I think, and they're still in a startup phase / I think unicorn. I forget how big they are. So they may not have as many funds as like the traditional brokerages like TD Ameritrade and all them. They're probably operating at a loss. Maybe they're making profits. I don't know if they already got out of that stage, but it sounds like they just don't have enough capital.
Well,
yet.
they were coming out
Once
with an
they
IPO,
grow,
which raises money. So, and now it's not
Yeah,
happening.
so
But
they were
no,
trying.
to backpack, like, I think you're right. They were in like a new phase, which is why they were coming out with an IPO to raise capital. But they've just been hit with so much bad press that they delayed it, because who's going to want to invest in that now? Like they're in a bunch of different lawsuits is what it sounds like, and people don't have trust on them, and trust and money go hand in hand. You don't want to put your money in somewhere that you don't have trust in. So they're in a difficult place right now. It's not just because they kind of hit people blindsided with, oh, we're stopping this. Like, yeah, it was kind of a messed up thing, but it's also like, oh, you don't have enough funding to do what we need you to do. So it's just another sketchy aspect of it.
it's good to reflect as well, because 2 episodes ago we were just going off on them because we were so upset. It was quite emotional, but it sort of makes sense.
How much assets certain companies or certain brokerages have, and Robinhood is quite below. Charles Schwab has 3.8 trillion, meaning they have a lot of capital if anything happens. TD Ameritrade has 1.3 trillion. E-Trade has 600 billion. Robinhood is only 20 billion. So they're far, far below the other brokerages. I mean, by a long shot.
Which is probably why they had to do what they had to do, or else they were just going to go under.
No,
they're a young company.
Against the wall.
They're young. They're not going to have the same amount of capital, so they're going to have. They had to do that, or else the business would be over, and they wouldn't.
Majority of the trades
business
were going
anymore.
through Robinhood, so they just kind of got like screwed. They didn't have a choice.
But then that just brings me back to my question: why did the other brokerages do it then? TD Ameritrade has 1.3 trillion in assets, and they stopped the buying as well. Was it? You know what I mean? Like,
that's what leads you to believe there was somebody behind.
I guess I understand Robinhood, because their capital and their assets is far lower than any other brokerage.
Right.
But when you see TD Ameritrade with over $1 trillion in assets and they even stopped the buying, that makes you wonder what's the difference?
Money is money, man. You don't want to lose it.
It just sounds like somebody maybe behind the scenes is pulling the strings.
Right. The fact of the matter is, I think, Mike, what are you doing, dude? We didn't hear you.
What am I doing?
What are you doing? Are you switching or are you staying?
Yeah.
I'm staying. I don't have the patience to go to another one.
Fair enough.
I don't have the patience to sit down. Although I really liked when I looked at Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. Mm-hmm. I watched a few videos on it, and it is like, if you want to sit down and you actually want to be hardcore, that's a pretty good place to start, because their interface is really well made. It's clean. It's very clear. It looks like a lot, but when you sort through it and you customize it, you just learn what you need and what you don't need. Mm-hmm. It can be very efficient as a trading platform.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
100%.
Yeah.
Logan, what are you
But
doing?
for
are
now,
you staying, or are you going to Merrill? What are you doing?
I like to use Merrill for things the way you trade. I guess I could put it that way, like more long-term things. Yeah, but Robinhood was just so easy for short-term. Like, it showed you the graph, showed you like how they were doing, what they were doing in the past week, month, year, and you could have it all on your phone. So I don't know. Yeah, like you guys are saying, I've heard a lot of things about new investors going to Webull, but I might try TD Ameritrade if you guys are going, because then I can just ask you guys once you guys figure it out what's the best way of using it. So
right.
I don't know.
I think if you're going to get serious, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do TD Ameritrade. And it's almost like it's good to have, it's nice to have Robinhood in your pocket and then TD Ameritrade at home. You know what I mean? So like if you're on the go and you want to buy some stuff, you do
Yeah.
it through
The best of both
Robinhood.
worlds.
And then if you're at home on the desktop, then you can open up Thinkorswim and you can just go ham. I'm pretty
That
sure
is
TD
actually
Ameritrade
true.
has a mobile app.
Just go ham, says Mike. No, but seriously,
Just
is
go
there an
ham.
app? I actually didn't even think about that.
I think
TD
I
Ameritrade does
think-
have an app. It does. I don't
But
know if
is it
seamless
Thinkorswim
as
is an
that?
app though. I don't know if Thinkorswim is on your phone. And if
Oh.
it was, it'd be probably so difficult to navigate.
Oh,
on
that's
your phone.
interesting. I didn't think about
Yeah, see, now you're thinking about it. You're sitting in the locker room and you can
Right.
just pull out your whole
I
laptop
trade on my
and do
phone.
that.
So it's like
Logan, like you
Exactly.
said, I think TD Ameritrade will be my long term, but
Yeah.
Robinhood,
Fuck.
if I ever do like options or swing trades or
So
I think I'm just
easy.
gonna
I didn't
yeah,
even
'cause
think
Yeah,
of
it's
but
that.
Max.
right there. No one
Max.
goes on their laptop to trade on Robinhood.
Literally.
No.
It's all on the phone. Yeah.
I
No.
sometimes go to the website just to monitor, but I don't.
I'll check
do
it out,
trades
but
on
I've never
there.
made a trade
Max,
on
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if I was in the middle of class and I already have my laptop open, I'll just make
Yeah.
a new tab. That way I don't have to keep looking
Right.
at my phone. But I'll never, like any actual trades was always on the phone. Always.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Max.
big. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Max, you should try making. You already have a TD Ameritrade account. You should try downloading their app and seeing if it's worth using.
No, I
Max
actually
is.
Their app, I have their app. Their app is perfectly fine. It looks just like the website. I just don't know if Thinkorswim
Yeah.
is on the phone.
it actually didn't even cross
Yeah.
my
I feel like
mind
that'd be
that
very
situation
difficult.
of doing it on
Yeah.
the go and on the phone. That
Okay,
throws-
from you
yeah,
guys
match
want to
that.
design. If you guys want a design perspective, it's really hard to cram a lot of information into a smaller screen space, of course. So you're not going to get. It'll be very, very
That's
hard
exactly
to try
what I
and get
thought.
something. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to try and get something like Thinkorswim to actually happen on your
Yeah.
phone. So that's why I said it's kind of like it would be nice to have one or the other. So if you're really on the go and you want to try to have it in your pocket, then you can try Robinhood or perhaps the TD Ameritrade app. But then if you're really serious and you want to get in the weeds, Thinkorswim looks like a pretty good option to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
To go ham.
Let's go ham, boys.
Mhm.
I think I'll keep Robinhood, like just to have, like you said,
yeah.
Logan. Like if I'm ever on the go, and I just want to make a quick trade,
So
I'll just
easy,
keep
yeah.
Robinhood. It is
So
super
easy.
accessible and easy.
Yeah.
But TD Ameritrade for the majority of things, I'm gonna go there.
Yeah. So just
Yeah.
a quick rundown list. TD Ameritrade, I think Max and Jared were gonna do. It has a feature called Thinkorswim.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
it's
the
really good.
application.
Yeah, it has an application on the web. Not sure if it has it on the mobile app. We don't believe so.
Not
it just
web,
shows
it's a
really
desktop
in-depth
app.
graphs. Yeah, desktop app. It just shows really in-depth graphs and allows you to do research. You've got Merrill Lynch, a more established, really kind of old trading. It's backed by Bank of America, so you know for a fact they have funds out the wazoo. Jared, what were some other ones? Webull.
Fidelity.
I've heard that's a really good
Webull,
one.
E-Trade.
Fidelity,
Fidelity.
E-Trade. There's Cash App.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
It's really preference. Just search them
Yeah.
around,
Schwab.
look at them, see what you like. It's different for
Definitely.
everyone. That's about it.
And Mike is sticking with good old Robinhood.
Yes, sir.
For the time being.
Build the portfolio.
Logan, I
What's
just
it-
looked up. Merrill Lynch has about over $1 trillion as well. So, yeah,
It's a lot of money. Damn.
there's a lot of money. So yeah,
All right.
it's all preference.
Fuck Robinhood.
Like you guys said.
End of,
Only for short term.
oh, except for when I need it.
Short
Then
term.
I'll use you.
Then we love it.
And we love
All
you.
right.
Yay, Robinhood.
Aight then.
Hit the outro. Dog.
I got you. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell to get push notifications straight to your phone. If you're listening on audio, feel free to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to leave us a rating. It lets us know that you're listening. And finally, if you want to get in touch with us, you want to ask us questions and chat, we're on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and we have a Discord server. So go ahead and hop on and ask us some questions. We'd love to chat with you. All right. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Talk to you later. Peace.